My name is Ken Schretzman. I'm a film editor on Toy Story 3.
My name is Robert Graham Jones. I'm a film editor here at Pixar. When film editors are working, they call it cutting because it comes out of the tradition of physically cutting film.
The film is made in pieces. It's made in close-ups and wide shots and different angles. Someone has to make the choice of how these pieces go together.
My name is Steve Bloom. I'm an editor.
My name is Jeannie Applegate. I'm an assistant editor at Pixar.
There's a lot of trial and error.
You usually have more than you need to work with, and you kind of have to get down to the real heart of the scene.
Editing is really about storytelling. The goal is to find the story and find the way to tell it in the most efficient and entertaining way possible. The most common question I ask myself when cutting is, do we really need this? Can we say it in a look? Can we do these two things at the same time? What can we throw out? What can we combine? What can we add?
Editorial's like a melting pot. Animation, layout, story, lighting, and we get to put it all together.
I am Torben Bullock. I am a motion picture editor here at Pixar.
My name is Renee Steen. I'm an assistant film editor. It seems like every day, every month, every year, the movie changes, and you see all the different stages, and I don't know, I love that.
There's a certain kind of personality that gravitates towards editorial, that likes data and creativity and technique and technology in this kind of never-ending organized chaos mess.
This isn't a tool I use now. This is a tool I used when I first got excited about making movies. My brother bought this for $6 at a police auction. You wind it up, and then it can shoot movies. And then my brother flicked it up, and we realized this camera can take one frame at a time. And you know what that means? That means you can animate.
My name is Lee Unkrich. My first job at Pixar was as an editor on the original Toy Story, and I am now the director of Toy Story 3. The editor in a live-action film is very reactive. They're reactive to whatever the director happened to catch with the camera on the set. Mistakes and all, the editor needs to take that footage and try to make something great out of it. In animation, we can create kind of a rough draft version of the movie using the storyboards and temporary dialogue and music. And if I, as the editor, want a close-up of a character, I can just talk to the director about it. As a result, the editor has a degree of control over the filmmaking that an editor in live action would never have.
Editorial in general, and Pixar is no exception, is one of the last kind of remaining apprenticeship systems, I think, in the film business.
My first job on film was an apprentice editor on a TV movie.
I was an assistant editor for several editors, most of them out of New York.
I was a PA.
I felt like they taught me everything I needed to know on that job. How to, handle film, how to rewind it, how to splice it.
One of the editors I work with is very cerebral. He'll think about making a cut for hours, whereas other editors just try 100 things just very fast.
Well, we use a lot of tools in editorial, but the main thing that I use every day are my notebooks. Every time I learn something new, I immediately write it down. I'm Bradley Furnish, second assistant editor. These are my brains.
Editorial's the hub. Everything comes in and out of editorial. Hundreds of thousands of pieces of media. Flying in and out, you have to sort them, organize them, export them, color code them, anything you can. My name is Anna Walitsky. I started at Pixar on Toy Story 2 as a production assistant, and now I'm editing on Toy Story 3.
There's a great reward in starting with pieces and putting it together in a way that takes it to a different level. It requires a certain amount of complete honesty that you can't just hope that something's working. It has to really work, and you have to be able to admit that it's not, so you can continue and fix it.
We remake the film so many times. The very first version of the film, it's temporary.
I know I can put together a good scene, and I put a lot of effort into it. But at the same time, I have to be willing to, once I finish cutting it, be willing to let it go immediately.
So yeah, I think editing is in large part about letting go of things you care deeply about in order to make a better film.
Andy se va a la universidad, ¿puedes creerlo? ¿Qué quieres hacer con estos viejos juguetes?
Chicos, cálmense. Traten de no perder la perspectiva.
¿A dónde nos lleva? Debiste saber que esto pasaría.
Estaremos bien, Jessie.
¡Detesto la incertidumbre! ¡Juguetes nuevos!
Bienvenidos a Sunnyside, amigos.
Oh, ¿puedo? Oh.
¿Qué? Tenemos invitados.
Entonces, ¿listos para el recorrido de ensueño, por qué no?
Muéstrales a nuestros amigos dónde se van a quedar.
Ah, bien, síguenme por aquí, sí. Hola, soy Ken.
Barbie,
Me gustan tus calcetas.
lindo pañuelo, ¿qué?
¡Ya quiero que jueguen conmigo!
Rex. Les encantan los juguetes nuevos, ¿no es cierto?
¿Qué les parecen los nuevos reclutas? ¿Alguno útil?
Pues el niño bonito de allá.
¿Qué esperabas de un juguete para niña?
¡No soy juguete de niña! ¡Hablo en serio!
Nos vamos de aquí. Bien, no hay nadie.
Tienen que ir a casa antes de que Andy se vaya mañana.
Lo importante ahora es permanecer unidos.
¡No van a lograrlo! ¡Suéltenme!
Buena suerte, amigos. La necesitarán.
¡Ahí viene!
How many toys are in this film?
The number of characters of the movie is particularly high.
I don't even know what the final count was.
How many? No, because there's so many, right?
I mean, there's definitely over 100.
150 plus characters in it?
I think it's over 200 characters.
1,297 toys in this film. No, I have no idea.
New toys!
Well, there's some funny challenges I didn't expect. I thought we just open up the box and there's Buzz, okay, and there's Woody, and you would make the movie. But we had to rebuild all the characters. The technology has changed, grown, evolved since Toy Story 2. So we're rebuilding Buzz and Woody. I didn't think we didn't have to do that.
We went into the old models because we still had them, and we examined them like doing archaeology in a way. We go into the old shading code and see Eben Osby's name, Bill Reeves, Ed Catmull, people whose papers we used to read in university. And when you have to recreate them, you realize how much craftsmanship really went into it. We didn't have to do a lot for Toy Story 3. We had to just kind of be true to what was already there.
When we saw the first animation test and when we saw the first teaser, where everybody said, oh my God, they're back again, they're back live again.
Didn't I tell you it looked great, huh? Oh, Buzz, where the heck have you been?
We met in the screening room with John Lasseter and Lee Unkrich to figure out what exactly we wanted to make sure we kept about old Buzz and sort of changed subtly for new Buzz. Old Buzz's brows have 3 controls each. Our new brows that we've done for the past few films, each brow has about 20 to 25 controls. So we actually chopped out a lot of the controls that we would ordinarily put into a human and limited it to a much smaller subset so that it was closer to what we had on classic Buzz.
Estoy rodeado por criaturas extrañas y desconozco.
There's a particular moment in Toy Story 3 where Buzz is Spanish Buzz.
My name is Carlos Baena. I'm an animator on Toy Story 3. And I was mostly responsible for animating Buzz in his Spanish mode. One of the things in Buzz, when he's in Spanish mode, that I've been playing with a lot is doing things that are unexpected.
¿Han visto mi nave espacial?
His attitude drives from flamenco dancers, where everything is very powerful.
We looked at a lot of video of bullfighters and Latin ballroom dancing. Carlos went off on his own.
I try a lot of different things. I shot a bunch of reference by myself. I'll draw it as a roadmap.
And he put together this animation test. Everybody loved it, and in a moment we knew who Spanish Buzz was. When the toys donate themselves to Sunnyside, they have a vision of what it's going to be. I always described it as being like a Boca Raton retirement home. Like they're just going to live their lives forever and be happy. And it's fun to then see the rug get pulled out from under them and have it turn out to be not such a great place.
Lotso's gang, they're bad guys. You know, really, they're a gang.
They need to be the heavies, so they can't feel dinky. They need to be strong.
Each character in that gang had to have a purpose.
So you've got Stretch, the octopus, and she can scuttle up walls and go across the ceiling.
Big Baby is this big tattooed thug.
Chunk. He's not very smart, but he's all about muscle.
Twitch, action figure, bug, mutant, muscle guy.
Ken has the body we all wish we had.
Lasso's in charge because he's the smartest in the group.
You lost, little doggy?
Lotso is this plush toy, which is a stuffed animal. Furry, stuff with material. He's a little bit older.
You could tell this thing's been slobbered on. It's been kicked, pulled, tugged, covered with a blanket.
We knew that in the final film we wanted Lotso to be believably a plush figure. We wanted to have a sense of his construction. So we brought in a toy designer, somebody who had worked specifically with plush toys.
I brought a bunch of stuff to show you as far as materials, yeah. We would think in terms of extraordinarily simple shapes.
We gave him the model and said, where would you cut the pieces of fabric to be able to stitch this together? And so he drew on our sculpt, and that's exactly how we built him.
We had a series of plush Lotsos made, and those early plush prototypes were very important for us because they helped inform the further design of him. But it was also great for the animators.
So when he walks, you want to see these wrinkles. It's weird because a soft plush bear doesn't weigh much, but you want him to feel like someone he's got a cane, he's got a little weight to him.
If you start at the bottom, pay your dues, life here can be a dream come true.
What was interesting to us was analyzing the reasons why he was the way he was. And when we came up with this notion of a toy being lost and then going through all these obstacles to make his way back home only to discover that he had just been callously replaced, it felt very toy-like. I mean, it's important if you're going to be in this world of toys, you want to give the toys problems that aren't human problems. You want them to be toy problems.
She don't love you no more. Now come on!
It's always awesome when you see a character being made. You're working on them and you kind of have an idea of what they look like. But when someone else takes them, they have their own perception. And that's the beauty of it.
It was a great responsibility. I knew that there were going to be really high expectations for this film, and I didn't want to disappoint anybody. And at the same time, I knew I was also creating new characters that were going to become part of this storied universe. Just the way you're getting these kind of creases in here.
It was really fulfilling to work on characters on Toy Story 3 and add to the legacy of Toy Story 1 and 2.
Yo soy tu amigo fiel. Yo soy tu amigo fiel. Cierra los ojos y recuerda que, pues yo soy tu amigo fiel.
¡Suelta un poco, Molly! Ay, tienes mi niña grande. ¿Crees que esté lista para conducir el auto? Sí, yo le enseño.
¿Aún lo dudas?
¿Qué, por Andy? Nah, será divertido hasta que él crezca.
Así me gusta, amigo vaquero.
Además, cuando suceda, tendré a mi Buzz Lightyear haciéndome compañía. En el infinito y más allá.
Ya lo verás, no terminará. Yo soy tu amigo fiel. Ya verás. Yo soy tu amigo fiel. Yo soy tu amigo
Corten, ¿te quedaste con ganas de ver más cine? No te preocupes. Videoclub M&M, desde 1986, te ofrece todas las novedades y los títulos difíciles de conseguir. Acércate a Vicente López, 2983, Villa Ballester. Teléfono 4738-2041.